Face. How much is face per pound? Wild or farm-raised? Xiaolei's quote. Xiaolei never liked summer. In the scorching heat, the entire city felt like a steamer, with everyone, men and women alike, drenched in sweat, especially on minibuses and subways. The dampness clung to people indiscriminately. Sigh. If only a young beauty were squeezed beside him. But beauties are delicate creatures, and these days the wealthy have a habit of keeping such delicate creatures as pets. Haven't you noticed that most beauties are raised as pets by the rich? Why would they come squeeze onto a bus with you? So, save that drool of yours before it spills out. Xiaolei lived not too far from school, so he decided to walk instead of taking the minibus or subway. After 20 minutes of walking, cursing the summer heat under his breath, Xiaolei could already see the school gate in the distance. There, groups of delinquent boys with yellow and green-dyed hair lounged on the roadside railings, whistling at passing girls and brazenly cracking dirty jokes. Bowen was a rather notorious school, not because it was a second-tier institution, nor because it produced top academic performers in exams. Bowen's fame came entirely from its delinquent youth problem. Xiaolei cautiously entered the school gate, not even glancing at those troublemakers out of the corner of his eye. His motto now was, "Don't look for trouble, but don't invite it either." The school was a mixed bag these days. Who knew which of these punks had gang connections, or was some big shot's lackey? Best not to provoke them. The first class in the afternoon was history. The gray-haired teacher up front was shouting himself hoarse, pouring his heart into his lecture, or rather his massive, saliva-spraying project. Xiaolei only wiped his own drool when the noise woke him, then discreetly checked his surroundings. The weather was scorching hot, and due to budget constraints, the school was always reluctant to provide adequate air conditioning. The classroom felt like an oven. Having slept soundly all afternoon, only interrupted once by a chalk missile from the math teacher during second period, Xiaolei had fully replenished the energy drained from his all-night internet binge. After classes ended, he slung his bag over his shoulder and strode energetically toward the school's taekwondo club. Why join the taekwondo club? Well, that's a great question. Given Xiaolei's temperament, he should ideally steer clear of such violent activities. But, well, the benefits offered by the school's taekwondo club were simply too good to pass up. Not only were there no membership fees, but they also provided a free training uniform, albeit a used one. More importantly, the club leader was highly skilled, and the members were tightly knit. Wearing this tiger skin club affiliation meant most troublemakers in school wouldn't dare mess with him. Far more effective than door gods. Of course, the absolute best part was the free dinner provided every night. Though just a basic boxed meal, it included 2 vegetable dishes, 2 meat dishes with generous portions, and unlimited rice. Nutritious and economical. In short, joining the Taekwondo club came with tons of perks. Naturally, with benefits this good, applicants would be scrambling to sign up. However, the club coach had high standards and only accepted those with exceptional potential. Luckily, Xiaolei's robust physique, honed since childhood by learning some dubious 5 animals, exercises, and knockoff Tai Chi from his charlatan uncle, helped him slip through the selection process. As for why a charlatan needed to stay fit, well, when a con artist gets exposed, running away is essential. Without decent physical skills, how could he escape? After changing clothes and stepping into the training hall, Xiaolei was surprised not to hear the usual earth-shaking "Heya" battle cries. He felt momentarily unsettled. Had Tyrant changed his temperament today? Normally, he'd always scold Xiaolei for lacking fighting spirit. Damn it, does one really need to scream like a slaughtered pig during combat to show spirit? In the training area, most junior members, since Xiaolei was facing graduation exams this year, most club members were his juniors, had already formed a large circle, apparently watching something. Frowning, he pushed through the crowd to see. If not for the fact that Tyrant, the leader here, was one of Xiaolei's few friends, he wouldn't have bothered with this nonsense. Sure enough, after parting the crowd, he saw the usually domineering Tyrant barely able to stand, supported by 2 juniors. His acne-covered face was flushed purple, and his eyes burned with rage bulging as if about to pop out. Clearly, that murderous glare was directed forward. The target of Tyrant's death stare stood with his back to Shaolei, a towering figure at least 2 meters tall, built like Arnold Schwarzenegger, especially with that tight white tank top clinging to bulging muscles. Damn, why wasn't this guy in a bodybuilding contest instead? Surrounding the giant were over a dozen people wearing other school uniforms. Obviously, they were here to challenge the dojo. Tyrant from Bowen was a citywide Taekwondo champion, even winning his age division once, so challengers from rival schools often came to test him. Usually, Tyrant would finish them off in a few moves, but today seemed different. He appeared to have taken a beating. Well, given the giant's sheer size, even though Tyrant stood at 176 centimeters and was built like a young bull, he was no match in raw strength. Tyrant's disciples and juniors were shouting curses, but none dared step forward to fight. On the ground lay 2 or 3 Bowen Taekwondo club members in training uniforms, clearly beaten badly. Tyrant's left arm hung at an odd angle, probably dislocated by the opponent. Shaolei walked over, supporting Tyrant with a hand, and whispered what happened. Damn all. Tyrannosaurus began with a notorious 3-word curse before angrily continuing. It's those guys from kids' school. But damn, they're really skilled. You lost. Yeah. Tyrannosaurus's face flushed almost purple with shame. Shaolei sighed, curled his lips, and lazily remarked, so what if you lost? If they're better, there's nothing to say. Wins and losses are part of the game. You're not invincible. Since we lost, just admit it openly and move on. Tyrannosaurus fell silent for a moment, then muttered, I'm not bitter about losing. They were better, plain and simple. But they went too far. They tried to tear down our banners. In the Bowen Taekwondo Club, several championship banners hung as symbols of pride. Normally, winning a match would be enough, but tearing down the opponent's banners, that was just rubbing salt in the wound. But what does any of this have to do with me? Shaolei looked utterly indifferent. They're just some ragged pieces of cloth, less hassle to clean if they're gone. It's not like they're snatching your girl's underwear. So why get worked up? Besides, I only joined the Taekwondo club for the free lunchboxes. Whether those lousy banners stay or go, what's it to me?